Hello, this is Lisa Russick and Misty Lure with the podcast We're All Psychic, and this is a video podcast on Spotify. And we have a very special guest again back with us today. It's Sarah. Sarah, would you like to say hello?
Hello, everybody.
And oh gosh, you got to see this video because she just looks beautiful. We were saying before the podcast,
glowing.
And as a professional, Sarah, do you still think we're all psychic?
Yes. Absolutely.
Good.
I want to say, if nothing else, my belief in us being psychic is just more solidified than it was.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that we're all connected and we all have the potential. And whether or not you want to go deeper with what you already have or even tap into it at all, it's your choice. But I think we all have that capability.
I agree totally.
I agree too.
That seems to be the general consensus. Everyone says, everybody can, but not everybody does or wants to. It just seems,
you gotta want it, baby.
Yeah. So listeners and watchers, Sarah was on the previous podcast, Soul Tarot, and she wanted to come back to talk about what she's done with this practice since the last podcast. So she's going to tell us about that. Do it. Tell us about it.
All right. Yeah. So just a quick background. I've been reading tarot now for about 17 years, but I've only been professional about a year and a half.
Yeah.
And so right. I know I want to say it was like a year ago that I was on here. I think almost exactly.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I've learned a lot in this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still
You're working it. But yeah.
Yes. Is exactly.
Because before you go professional, you can be in the mood or not in the mood. When you are professionally doing it for a living, you kind of have to turn it on and off. I'm still struggle with that, turning it on and off.
Yeah. It's funny when I sit down with customers, it's immediately on and I love it. I mean, sometimes it drains me, but most of the time it just revitalizes me. And I just
me too. Yeah. I used to be more like that when I was younger. I'd get more revitalized. Now, if I do healing work, it revitalizes me, but sometimes I do get a little drained, Yeah. Teach me that.
What I've learned in the last year is I've really honed in. So Soul Tarot was what I learned through Lindsay Mack. She has a course and the way she teaches tarot is different from the traditional. Like some of the meanings are different. It totally resonated with me, which is why I went with it. But what I've learned in the last year is I've taken what I learned from her and then what I learned from myself as I've worked with clients. Because there are times where a card that it's not the traditional, it's not what I learned from Lindsay Mack, but now it's my own meaning that over and over and over, it's like, oh, this is the new meaning. Okay, I'm going with it. And
yes, they do evolve over time, your meanings.
Totally do. Yeah. It's never as black and white as I think people who don't read tarot understand.
Right. It's like you really got to put it all together. And if you're being paid for it, you want to do it fast.
That too. Yeah. I started doing events and that helped.
Yeah, good at it too.
Corporate bachelorette parties.
I love it. Yes, I love it.
That would be fun to do a bachelorette party. Yeah,
I love bachelorette parties. I actually go above and beyond for those. So if anyone's listening and is local, pay attention. I do little gift bags with stones, and then what the stones mean with a little rose, and then the bride. I always give an extra stone. That's all marriage related.
You wrap it in red panties. Put it at the bottom of the wine glass.
I did Cornelian though for that same kind of vibe.
Oh, I like that. I like the way you think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what I've really learned though is that my gift is not really focusing in the future. And while I think that, I can tell you as of right now, energetically, where you're headed.
Yeah.
But I don't think, and this is my own personal belief, I don't feel that the future is set in stone. So the way that I read it is this is where you're heading as of right now, but based on the choices you make going forward will really determine whether or not you end up in that space.
Right.
And what I've learned is my gift is working more in the now and working more with what you can do now to get you where you want to go.
Right.
And so it's more like a roadmap.
Yeah. You'd be great at it. Listeners and watchers, when she came on the podcast onto the recording and the Zoom recording I just couldn't shut up. She's a great listener, and I'm kind of scattered today, but she's a wonderful listener, and I just couldn't stop. And I hit the record button, I couldn't stop. so like, what are some of I'm kind of curious. I'd like to pick your mind about like different meanings for the tarot, because one that happened with me was the Six of Pentacles in relationship readings. I would get the Six of Pentacles, like, what does this mean in a relationship? But then I started thinking maybe the Pentacles can also represent manifestations, you know? Okay. And so I was thinking, well, you'd be at the sixth stage. And sometimes I'll think of it as they think of each other as equal give and take, you know, or something like that. But when I'm looking like, how does he feel about you? The Six of Pentacles, you know, that's when I got to like, well, he thinks you're giving and sharing and good give and take. And I kind of see Pentacles as conversation sometimes, and the Swords as the thoughts behind them.
Yeah. It's for me. Yeah. So, I mean, I see the Pentacles as very material, but also it can be perception, and it just depends on where I think a lot of it is perception, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like a different aspect of perception.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
For the Six of Pentacles, I would read that as what you were very similar to what you just said, is it usually represents give and take. If it's upright, to me, that's you guys have a really good balance. If it was how does he think about you, he really enjoys how well you both work together and the give and take. And then if it's reversed, that's usually when the higher self is like tapping them on the shoulder and saying, hey, I think you're giving a little bit too much and not getting anything back, or not getting met with the same efforts.
Yeah. It's good. I like that. And that's like interesting, because I usually, when I see the Three of Pentacles in a relationship reading, that's when I think they want to work with you on stuff, you know, work out. But at the 3 stage, you know, I think of it as at the 3, you know, as in manifestation, working together to make a relationship, to build a physical relationship, you know. So, because I think of a relationship, I think of it as more spiritual, you know, a love relationship, friendships. But of course, there is a very physical element to a love relationship.
Yes, no, totally.
Yeah. So that, like, the Pentacles sometimes can represent that, you know, and the Wands, of course, you know. I've found the Wands can be more like the energy behind the physical acts.
Right. Passion.
Yeah, that Ace of Wands. And some decks will make that Ace of Wands very bold. You know, I always see the Ace of Wands is very excited about someone. In a relationship.
You know, and it's interesting because the way that I read the aces is that's one of the things that are different from like the mainstream. The way that I read aces, about that. Yeah. So like the Ace of Wands, the way that I read the Ace of Wands is it's your energy level. And so we all have different energy levels. Some of us are candles, some of us are bonfires, some of us are in the middle, right?
Yeah.
And so when that card comes up, it's usually like pay attention to your energy capacity and how you're giving it to others.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and usually if it comes up, you know, reverse, that's when I tell them, you know, it looks like you're burnt out. You are burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that one is usually like the way that I read it, it's very much pay attention to how much you give, how much you have, first of all, because if you don't even know how much you have to give, you're going to be over giving left and right and not giving likely in the right places.
Yeah.
But if you're aware of, okay, this is how much I have to give. So now I'm going to, you know, give it out accordingly. Usually starting with yourself is a good place to start. So that way you don't end up depleting yourself in the process of showing others. But that's how I read it, which I know is vastly different from.
Oh, I think it's great. You know, I think every single person who reads cards, even if they just pick them up and open them to the most experienced tarot reader, they're all going to do it differently somehow because of that evolution you talked about in the beginning of the podcast, where we put our own meanings from different readings and they keep seeing them again. And I find it interesting that with certain clients in certain, let's say a very similar relationship issue, I see a very common relationship issue I see is that there isn't good communication, right? Mm-hmm. They're so nervous around each other, they can't communicate in relationships, or they can't tell each other how they really feel because they're afraid of rejection, for example. Right. So for me, aces are usually yes and no, or I learned this from the Mystical Cats tarot deck, and that was my first traditional tarot deck. I used to use the Osho Zen, and with the Mystical Cats, they taught the aces. They taught the meanings, you know, but they taught upright was always yes, but reversed, the Ace of Wands was not yet. I like that. And the Ace of Cups was no, or over, just a no. The Ace of Wands is not yet. The Ace of Swords is a big, bold no, or confusion, or kind of we don't know. It could be a we don't know, but it's usually no. And then the Ace of Pentacles, I like the yes and no for, because upright it's yes, and reversed it's yes or no, but you have to see what gift is actually in the offer, in the opportunity. This may not be what you want, but it could be a yes if you make it one.
Yeah.
I like that. That's how I read them. Yeah. It's different. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Me and I don't do yes or no questions. I mean, I'll look at it from an energetic, like I'll look at all the cards as like as a way to kind of lean one way or the other. But I hate, for me personally, I don't even work with the pendulum very well. Or
I can't either.
It's just not.
She can't take the pendulum. Yeah, she got that.
Yeah. So I think for me, yes and no questions, I can look at the big picture and kind of feel into it, but like and this is just me personally, me and yes and no questions, I really prefer like the more complex answers and,
dive into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I will say is that clients that get a reading from me, it's like a deep dive. And I never intend it to be, but it always is.
That's the fun stuff. That's when it gets
sometimes they're open for it. Sometimes I can tell they're like, whoa, I was not ready.
Some people get nervous about like their deepest stuff being, especially in a coffee shop or something, other people might hear,
Yeah. Nobody, you don't want to let anybody else hear your business.
Yeah, that's exactly probably why they feel uncomfortable, or they're just so shocked that you can get that deep with them and you don't even know.
Yeah,
a lot of people are really surprised. Yeah.
I did a reading at it was a witchy party. It was very cool. Witch party recently, and I felt like I've had mixed feelings. But the way I see it is, when it comes up, it's because I'm meant to share it. So I just, even if I'm like, oh, why is this coming up here now? I just trust it for a reason. And I could tell from the very first card, this woman was trying to hold herself together.
Oh.
And I mean, it was about grief. And, the detail, but by the time I was done, she told me she just lost her dad in March, and my heart,
you still feel it.
She needed it. There was so much medicine and healing in that. And it was obviously not the best time and place, but spirit needed to speak to her is the way I saw it.
She needed to hear it too.
And she thanked me, she really appreciated it. But, that's kind of why I do, like, why I really love what I do, because even though it can get deep, it really just, it clears all the stuff out of the way, and just
I love it when it gets deep. I love it when it goes way down in there and just pulling roots and, planting flowers and planting seeds. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I mean, I try to, when I do readings, I try to keep it a little lighthearted, even when but if they go heavy, if they start getting really upset or something, I will let them, of course. But I mean, I'll go there too, and So what else have you learned in the past year as far as the tarot and like the soul part,
Well, I've really learned it kind of comes back to the being present, that the more you can work in the now, the more you can really ask the tarot, for instance, what do I need to know? I have clients that see me weekly or a couple times a week, and it's always just adding to their journey. But the more you can be present in the now, the more that you can trust in the steps that you're given. And also know that the other thing that I learned too is there really is no, there's no bad cards, which I know I spoke to in the last podcast. And so, because
I agree.
But it's also, I don't think that there's any like punishment for the things that we choose either. Because I think some people are so afraid of making the wrong choice. And the way that I see it, you're learning. It's a lesson. And so, while I may see the same client for the same thing and, being outside of it, I can see very clearly that, this is not going to work. But, I'm just going to share what comes up. And the cards usually will, if it's not my ego, and it usually, when the cards come up, it's like, okay, that's backing my thoughts, and I'll share what I see. But I I have some people that are like, oh, why did I stay in this relationship for so long, or in this toxic environment, or in this bad job? And it's like, because
you can help them understand. You can help them understand it. Yeah. And let it go. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not about getting it right. We're here to learn. We're here to make mistakes. That's the whole point of being human.
Learn and teach.
I agree. I agree. Or other people make mistakes and we school them.
I make mistakes too.
I make a lot of mistakes.
My tarot. Yes.
With the tarot, that is so true. Sometimes I'll get these 5 cards out and I'm just like, what do I do? What's going on? Like, they don't make any sense. Does that ever happen to you? And I'll the deck. Is that the deck? I refuse.
For me, no. So when that happens, and it happens quite frequently, because it's my ego trying to figure out before I even start.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, and so usually I'll go to, well, that's interesting, because I'm trying to figure out how to,
like, what is going on?
I don't know. Like, I don't understand, but I'm just going to start talking. And it starts making sense. Like, as I talk, I just start, that's what I do. When I don't understand the whole picture, I'll just be like, okay, so this is what this card means. And then as I start talking, usually things just start coming out that, makes sense to them, and maybe wasn't what I planned on saying. And then it's just the story starts to play out. But that happens a lot where I'm like,
maybe for you that happens because like it's the kind of for them to have their energy slowly brought into your energy, because yours is very powerful. It's very like calming. But it's like very inviting. You probably have had very crazy people come up to you a lot and just want to be your best friend.
That's what happened to Lisa.
And you lady, everyone as your best friend. You don't care if they're crazy.
No. Well, I'm an introvert, so I it's harder for me to just connect with people. That's another thing people say I learned from my cards is my cards have helped me connect more with people, because once I'm reading for them, it's just that connection just opens. When I'm not reading for people, I have to really like remind myself, like, you don't have to be perfect. You can just be yourself. That's my own insecurities that, I'm working on, but
I hear you there.
Yeah.
I have that too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's not something else I've learned through my business and through tarot, is that tarot is like my, it's my medium, and it really helps me get in touch more with myself too.
Me too. It can help me so much. It helped me understand everything that happens in my life, and it helps me make choices. Healthier choices for myself and for me to be happier, and people around me to be happier. And it really helps. Listeners and watchers, if I remember correctly in the emails, you said you might offer one of us a reading for this podcast.
Yeah. Absolutely. Maybe I can even do one for each of you.
Oh, yes. Yes. Missy, go first. Are we going to ask questions, or are you just going?
I just want you to go with me.
So I can just go on a theme, or we could just ask your higher self what you want to know.
Let's just go with the higher self.
Okay. To be honest, I usually recommend that one, because that one usually just pulls out what you need to know. And almost, a lot is people will tell me, I was going to ask you about that, but I answered it anyway.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird how like a general reading, somebody be like, I want a general reading, and it addresses exactly what they actually want.
That's why I always say, just give me what you need, or give me what you got.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Why? It blows my mind. It just blows my mind. I love it though.
It's so magical, isn't it? It is.
Yeah. I'm going to make a little more space, but yeah, no, it totally is. I mean, yeah. I think that's another reason I love what I do, is when things just work out, I'm like, holy crap. Like, I didn't plan this, but of course,
it comes out anyway.
It does continue to amaze me, the synchronicities and
it does me too.
Strangeness of it all. Yeah.
So fun.
What I love too is when I do a general reading and then they explain it to me how it fit in there. Like, they're like, oh my God, let me tell you what these cards and how they represented I'm like,
they're so like psyched. Yeah.
And then it just helps me see the bigger picture. But I'm just like, I love when they tell me after the fact, because, I'm not clairvoyant. I mean, I am working on maybe changing those abilities a little bit. I've had a couple cool things happen around that. But in general, I'm more of an intuitive. I feel into the energy. So I can't tell you the specifics, but I can tell you what's coming up. And then they're like, oh my God, that's this. And, obviously if it didn't fit so well, they wouldn't,
I wouldn't be so excited. Yeah. And you have a way of phrasing things just right. So it seems like.
Yes, she does.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Our cards. I've been reading cards while y'all be talking.
Ooh,
I've already read
you
yours,
tell
Sarah.
us. She's done our cards.
So I'm going to do my standard spread. It's 7 cards. There's a theme card. I'll show each of them to you as I go.
Cool.
Past, present, future energies, and then higher self message. And kind of cool, like a side note, but it just occurred to me. I was listening to another podcast where they were talking about pyramids and how magical they are.
Yeah.
This spread that I created, it's a pyramid. It's an upside down pyramid.
Oh,
and I
can see that.
put
water
the two together until recently.
It's water, right? And the elements, wouldn't that be water?
Oh, that could be. I am a water sign, so there's that too.
Yeah, because in the witchcraft signs, I think the upright triangle is the fire sign, and the triangle without the lines through them. Like there's a triangle upright with the line through it. I think that's air, and then earth is one of the upside down triangles, and water is the other one. But I think the pyramid, triangle. I think it's water though.
Pyramids. Yeah.
I mean, considering I am a water sign, that is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so the theme card. This one, and by the way, the deck that I use, it's not your traditional deck, so the wording is a little off, but I'll explain it to you as I go. But the first one is the Page of Voices, and it's that's the Page of Swords in a traditional deck. The way that I read this one, so this one, Misty, is saying that you're really learning how to advocate for yourself. And likely you've struggled with that, where voicing your opinion, voicing your beliefs and experiences, you've probably been met with people silencing you. And you're at this place where you're like, no, I'm ready to start voicing my opinion. And not just that, but I'm going to trust my experience and I'm going to keep putting it out there.
She never complains. She never complains.
I like that. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, I do too. I like that definition for her too. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's reverse. So that's speaking to that awareness of learning. Like the analogy I use with this card is, think about when you go, like, let's say you go see a doctor for an ailment and the doctor dismisses you. He's like, oh, it's nothing, go home. And you're like, okay, but my experience is there's something wrong with me and I need you to look into it. And the doctor's like, well, I went to school to be a medical doctor. You don't know anything, go home. Right. And really coming back and saying, I know my body. I know my experience. You may be the doctor who has more knowledge, but I am knowledgeable of my own body. It's like my own physical experience, and I need you to look into it anyway.
Right.
And it's knowing that even though someone else may have more knowledge than you, it doesn't invalidate your own experience of the situation.
I like that.
I do too.
I like that a lot.
Interesting metaphor you used there in her situation.
Mm-hmm. How is it? Okay.
It's fitting.
Okay. So looking at your past, this is really cool. So I'm seeing that in your recent past, you're kind of coming to an ending of some sort, kind of like the ending of one journey, beginning of a new one. And so in the recent past, you were really just kind of taking in all of your accomplishments. Like, wow, I did this. I made it this far. I've made it to this peak. And I'm really just enjoying the view. Just make sure you don't linger too long, because it is time for something new. It is time to start the full journey. The full card is next.
I love it.
And moving on to that leap of faith.
Yeah.
But the world is what keeps.
That's like my card. It's a full card. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's so beautiful.
All right. So presently, and this may be tying, because usually they all tie in together. This present card probably ties into the advocating card, and it probably ties into that world energy. But presently, I pulled the Devil.
Yay, the devil.
Is it a good devil or a bad devil? Is he a fun devil or a wicked devil?
So the devil, the way that I read the devil is, it's just your ego. It's your mind, right? Your mind, it wants to play small because it's comfortable there. It knows what to expect. Even if it's not good for you, you're like, your mind is like, yeah, but if we stay here, we know what to expect. We can plan, we can prepare. And it might not be pleasant, but at least we know what to expect, right? Whereas the soul is saying, no, I'm ready to grow. I'm ready to step be uncomfortable and choose something. So like just a general analogy for this one would be like, it's basically you're at a fork in the road. And let's say you're trying to eat healthier and get away from junk food, just as like a general example. The junk food is the one that's familiar and it's easy to go back to because you know it, you like it. You don't have to question, you don't have to change your taste buds. Like it's just easier. It's easier to fall back on it. Oh, I'm I don't want to go and make my own meal. I just want to eat this, one that's not good for me, even though I know it's not good for me, versus, okay, I know I'm tired. I know I'm hungry. I know I really want that processed food over there, but I'm going to go and make myself something healthier instead because I know my body will prefer it. So it's choosing the thing that makes you uncomfortable, but you know is going to bring you growth and you know is going to take you to the next level.
I can see that.
And so like, it's just saying right now you're at fork in the road. And
I can so see that.
I can see that too.
That's how I feel. Yeah. Lisa can probably understand. Yeah.
Well, and if we tie that back to the theme, it could even very well be tied to that theme of learning how to advocate for yourself, because it may be easier to slide into, silence and just.
Yes. I think it does tie together. Yeah, I think it does. I think you're spot on.
So moving into the near future, this is cool because it ties into that world energy and that moving on, and even ties into this fork in the road. It's the 8 of emotions or 8 of cups reversed.
Okay.
And so this is basically saying that you're ready to leave something behind that doesn't serve you. And I really feel like it's speaking to the part of you that just silences yourself and shuts down and doesn't advocate for yourself. Yeah. That's the part that you're ready to leave behind. And you've done a lot of work because I can see you've put a lot of self-awareness into it. You know better now. You may still kind of slide into old habits, but you know better.
Right.
And so because you know better, you're ready to leave it behind and move on to something that's better, that's going to emotionally meet you where you are at. There is resistance with it being reversed. So you're at like I said, you're at the ending of something, beginning of something new. And the only thing that's holding you back is getting caught in bad habits and emotionally not ready to let this thing go because it's comfortable.
Right. Get out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly.
I can totally see that. Yeah. That was good. I like that.
There's a 3 more.
I'm sorry.
More.
Yeah. Bring it on, girl.
I'm loving it. You're and giving her a voice.
Energy, like I said, it's not set in stone, right? This is like letting you know, like, this is where you're headed as of right now. Okay. But that can totally change based on, what you take from this reading, what you choose to do in the next, every time you're present, in the now. So this next card is a higher self message that ties to the letting go piece, that ties to the future energy card. And it's the 4 of inspiration or 4 of wands. And so what I'm seeing here is that what's going to help you make the uncomfortable choice and move on to that full energy and learn to advocate for yourself and let go emotionally of this thing is more like, stop taking life so seriously, have more fun. Get more in touch with your creativity and your support group. And, this card, the way I read it is it's like a mini vacation. Like, it doesn't have to be a physical vacation, right? But it can be doing the things that just make you happy, that bring you joy, that gets your head out of whatever you're dealing with, right? That really just gets you present in your joy. That. I think that's going to help you. It's going to help you remember what that joy is and remember and follow that joy versus getting stuck in these old patterns that, aren't serving you anymore.
Right. I like that.
And then your next 2 cards that come up. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just said I can do that.
Oh, okay.
She can do anything.
Yeah. The hardest part is remembering that you actually have a choice and then choosing that choice, because it's so easy to get caught in your mind, and I think that's what the devil is. It's easy to just slide that comfort.
Ego. Yeah.
Like, oh, you don't battle with that fun with your friends. Like, no, actually, I do. I want to put you in the back seat, and I'm going to take over this car. These next 2 cards are just like higher self message. This is like a little bit more of the roadmap that I was talking about, like how to help you get to these places. So the first one is the 4 of materials reversed, or 4 of pentacles reversed. Okay. The way that I read the card, it's basically really inviting you into leaving behind lack mentality. So the fear piece that might be keeping you from speaking up usually comes from a lack mentality of if I speak up, then I'll lose this connection of some sort. This is saying trust that the universe has your back, that if something leaves, it's because something better is coming in. And that you just be open to receiving. Because so the 4 materials upright, the way that I read this, it's very needy and closed off, and like, I can't let anything out, because if I let go of what I have, then I'm going to be left with nothing. And it's this fear, lack mentality versus okay, I'm gonna open up my arms. I'm gonna let things go and come as they please. I create that flow, that currency. And by doing that, well, first of all, if you think of it this way, if you're like this, the universe can't gift you.
No,
it can't gift you with anything if you're so like, no. So it's that
right.
It's kind of like a give and take, right? And it's being open enough to allow things to come and go, but know that whatever comes and goes is what's meant to. And that the universe is that's what you're being invited into, is more of abundance thinking around that.
I love that.
So I would say, just tying that into the message here, it's stepping into that advocating, stepping into the endings and new beginnings, and just doing it with trust and knowing that you're being guided, right?
Yes.
And the universe is going to always provide for you, but you have to be open to receive it.
Oh, I love it. You're so spot on.
The final card, because I know you guys know tarot, so you'll probably appreciate it as much as I do, but a couple of my favorite cards
self message, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The death card.
Oh, you got to girl. You got to have a moth come out of your head.
I love the death card.
Yeah, it's not scary.
Yeah.
No, it's all about transformation, endings, beginnings, change.
All those cards are. That's crazy.
Yeah. I love that.
There's a huge invitation here for you to make some big changes. And it's around your worth, and it's around knowing that you have a right to advocate for yourself. You have a right to choose yourself. You have a right to your own joy. And I'm not saying resistance around the death. So I feel like you already know what's coming. You probably have been feeling it. You haven't started resisting it yet, but you're kind of aware that it's there. It's inviting you to close a chapter so you can compost what doesn't belong and move into the new chapter.
Yes. Yeah. I totally understand what you're saying. Yes. Yeah. I totally get it. I love that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. That was everything that came up in yours.
That's perfect. That's why I love to ask the question. Let them do the work and let me
right.
I love it.
That was great.
All right, Lisa, it's your turn.
My turn. I love reading so much. I love reading. Thank you. I'll do the same as Misty. Yeah. Higher self message.
Yes.
All right. Let's see what comes up. So that's just an example of like one of my readings.
I like that spread. So, yeah.
So you guys are on Everclear as well, right?
I am.
I think that's okay. Because I remember that's actually how I found out about your podcast, actually.
Yeah.
And so hotlines were really my beginning experience with tarot. And I've moved away from it. I'm still on Everclear, but I'm not as on it as I used to be. But this spread was created while I was doing the hotlines. Because I didn't use a spread at first. I was just kind of letting it create itself. And then the spread kept coming up over and over and over. And then the meanings started coming through. And so it was very organically created.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love those cards, by the way.
They are cool. What deck did you say it was? I forget.
This is the Muse deck.
The News deck.
Okay.
Muse.
I love it.
Muse. I thought you said news. I was like, Newspaper tarot.
Are you familiar with the Lightseers deck?
Yes, I have one right here, I think. It's like I got one of those, like I want the big one, but I got like a one of those reprints, I just wanted to have it because I wanted it for so long and it was like $10. I was like, I gotta get it. But yeah.
It's the same artist, actually.
Yeah. Oh, it's the same artist. Her art is amazing. Yeah.
I actually started with the Lightseers and I started with the Shadowscape and I had that for like 8 years. And then once I started doing it professionally, kind of a funny story, if you don't mind me sharing.
Oh, please.
In different tarot groups, I've been in tarot groups for years. I would see these people collecting decks and I was like, I'm just a one deck kind of girl. Like that's too many tarot. I just didn't understand. So I had my Shadowscape years. And then when I started thinking about doing it professionally, I read somewhere that, maybe you should get a different deck for when you read for people so you don't mess up the energies. And I was like, that makes sense. All right. So that's when I bought the Lightseers.
Yeah.
And I loved it so much that Shadowscape kind of got retired.
Yeah. And plus they get old. You get sick of buying the same deck over and over.
And it was funny because like that was it was like Spirit had to really encourage me and coerce me to get another deck because I was like, oh, and then I had a good reason, right?
Yeah.
And then when I started reading, like I said, for events about 5 months ago or so, and I thought, well, I want a deck that's brighter and less scary because, some people, especially, I will tell you, most of the people I read for at events, they've never had a reading before. So
right.
I really want to present it in the lighthearted way.
Right. Exactly.
It's still very medicinal, right?
Yes.
And so that's when I started just looking for like a brighter colored, happier deck. And that's when I fell in love with it. It feels to me kind of like Alice in Wonderland type.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll show you a deck you might like. While you're talking, I'll grab it.
Okay. And so, I bought this deck for events. And then I just fell in love with it, and I really only use this one now. But I'm like, oh my God, Spirit did it again. I had to get like a logical reason, and then I couldn't believe after I bought it. I was like, oh my God, it's the same artist. What are
that is weird? You didn't even know it. Yeah, this is one I think you'd like. My son, one of my younger son, gave me this one. If you've ever seen this one, the art is just it's got some extra cards in it. It has a prince and princess instead of like page. As a prince and a princess. These are just, I just love them. I think they're really like colorful and they have,
I love
that. They're just, I thought you'd like these. I love them. I think they're a little worn down because I've used them so much,
What's the name of that one?
This is the Cosmic Slumber Tarot.
Okay.
One. Yeah. Cosmic Slumber Tarot.
I love the name of that too.
It has like a night and day, it has a night card and a day card, or morning and night. And I think the night card is like going into your cosmic slumber, and the day card is waking up with your information from your cosmic slumber. And then there's a prince and a princess for the pages, and then there's two pages. It's weird. And then there's a knight, and then there's a queen.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's like
or maybe there's two knights, or there's like a prince and a princess. I don't think there's a page though. I can't remember exactly because it's been a while since I've used it. But you can see, there's a ton of cards in there.
Yeah, there is. It's a big deck.
Yeah. Okay, let's check that out because that's cool because the page, it almost gives it like a dual feminine and masculine energy to it.
Yes.
How cool.
Yeah.
Because the page doesn't really have a gender,
No.
There's the king and the queen, but there is,
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So it's going to be the same spread. So the first card's going to be the theme card, past, present, future, and then higher self message. So the first card that I pulled, and so this one is kind of like what you were just saying. The cards are a little bit different. This one is the Muse of Voices, which is the King of Swords.
Okay.
They call it the Muse of Voices. So this theme is basically saying it's similar to what Misty got as far as like the advocating for yourself.
I'm definitely learning that. Yeah.
This is looking at like further. This is basically saying that you're learning how to communicate who you are. You're learning how to stand in your truth and have a healthy sense of detachment from those that may not understand or agree with you.
Yeah. I've been creating boundaries for like a year and a half, right. Yeah. That's the main thing I need to do.
The Queen of Swords, the way that I read her, she didn't come up for you, but the Queen of Swords, she's like the boundary work. She's like, I'm setting boundaries. I'm drawing the line.
I feel like I've done that part, and now I'm like living with my boundaries.
Yes, that's
working with it and trying to figure out how to navigate it.
Yeah, that's exactly what this one is. It's basically saying that you've done the work to set boundaries. Now you're like living from that place and having that healthy sense of detachment. So when someone comes along and says, "I don't agree with what you do," you say, "Okay, thank you for your insight." But I love what I. It's also there's a lot of grace that comes with it because the King of Swords really understands the maturity of being in his position. It's very much like I know that I influence people, so that's why again I'm going to know my truth. I'll share my truth. I'll communicate my truth, but I'm not going to. There's that healthy respect on both sides, whether or not someone agrees with you or you agree with them. We had that.
I don't need people to agree with me.
Right.
It's easier, but I mean, I don't really voice my opinion too much, except on this podcast, maybe.
And the other thing that comes with this too is it's kind of like a recovering people pleaser energy too, because in the past, like, okay, I'll do whatever you want me to because I don't want to rock the boat, and this is like, no, this is my truth, and I'm not gonna, be caught up in what you want, what you think of me.
Yeah.
So that's your theme. So that's basically saying that's where you're at right now. In your recent past, I got the 8 of Materials or 8 of Pentacles, And this one is basically saying that you've kind of been learning something new. There's some kind of a new project or something new that you're taking on, and you're kind of impatient around it. You're like, I want to be an expert. I already want to be better. I want to be like better than I feel like I am. But this is just like really inviting you to know that you are kind of in that apprentice place and that it takes time, and Rome wasn't built in a day, and just keep doing what you're doing because it will lead you to being an expert. But right now you're still kind of in that learning phase. And this is more recent past, so you may have come farther along, but this is just speaking, I think, again, to that healthy sense of detachment. Because if others are saying, well, if you're doing this, you should be farther along maybe, and you're learning, like, no, I'm right where I'm meant to be, and I'm learning at my own pace, and I'm not going to rush this, and just taking it one day at a time. And then presently, it pulled the wheel reversed.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love that card.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So the way that I read this card, it's basically all about balance and trust. It's a combination of staying balanced, but trusting the universe too. So when this card comes up, it usually speaks to struggling with victim mentality, which is like feeling like, oh my God, the universe is out to get me. Why is this happening to me? And it's reversed. So that's the way that I'm reading this, is that it's telling me that you know better. Like, you're not caught up in victim mentality very often, but you do find yourself there sometimes.
I do. And when I do, I get ticked at myself. I get really angry with myself if I'm thinking that way and I catch myself, because I usually take it out on somebody. But that's what I was taught. I'm recognizing all these things. So yeah.
So this is just inviting you to look at it from a different perspective. So ask yourself, how is this happening for me, not to me? So if it feels like it's happening to you, which that's totally valid. I mean, like if you get a flat tire on the way to work or something.
Like stuff like that never gets to me. It's people's attitudes when they're being really big assholes. That's when I just lose my mind, and that's what happened to me. Someone treated me like that for a long time. And so I got kind of a chip on my shoulder about that kind of behavior. So I start acting that way. And then I criticize myself for doing it. So I like, stop that. Just stop it all. Go back to how you used to. Move on, grow with it. Use the poison, right? Make it some kind of healing tincture.
Positive.
Well, let me use that example then. I usually use a flat tire, but we can use that other one. So it's basically, in that example, it's basically saying, ask how this experience is good for you, like what you can learn from it, why it's happening for you. This card is basically saying that everything happens for a reason. It's for you, not for you. And when you're able to look at that, and this is also not just bad, it's good and bad. It's a balance. So it's like, well, not in this card. There's, in the Lightseers deck. I love the wheel in that one because it's like a unicycle kind of, it's like this energy of riding a unicycle. And I think that explains exactly.
That's a really good way. Yeah.
So it's like good and bad, right? There could be bumps in the road, but, let's say something really, really good happens. If you're not careful, you can get really caught up in it and lean one way and you get tripped up, and then you kind of get caught in the ego of it. And then you're back flat on your face, right? Or when something bad happens, you can get tripped up and fall over. So this is just asking for that balance. Like, okay, everything happening, good and bad, is for me. And trying to keep that, that balance of not getting caught up one way or the other, if that makes sense.
Negative thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the present card, especially with it being reversed, it's just saying to be more mindful of how you deal with things that feel like an attack, that feel like it's happening to you. Exactly.
I do. I'm trying to be. Yeah.
Yeah. And I see that because it's reversed. So that does tell me that there's that awareness around it and you're trying. It's just so this is the invitation, is your higher self that's just saying, just when things happen, even if you have to take a moment to walk away and be like, what am I learning from this? Like, take the other person out of the equation.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to learn from this?
Good advice. That's really good advice.
I love that.
I know it's not easy to do in the moment. But yeah.
Being aware of it's the best part, though. Know it. So,
oh my gosh, being aware is the first battle.
Yeah, right? It is.
And then moving into the near future. And I feel like this probably speaks to the theme and in the present that we were just talking about. It's the 10 of Voices reversed, or 10 of Swords reversed. And this one is based, so the way that I read this card, the analogy I put with this card is it's like a a snake shedding its skin. And so, and because it's reversed, it's saying that there's some resistance around that. So you know that there's growth coming, you know, especially probably around your perception, around really upholding those boundaries that you've learned to
it is hard to uphold them. It can be, because
and you know
people
what?
test them.
Yeah.
This 8 of materials, sorry, I'm just kind of like, whoa, I'm seeing another connection here. The first card that was in the recent past, I think that this is basically saying that you're learning to live in your boundaries. You're not an expert yet.
No.
You're an apprentice.
Yeah. That's gotta be what it is. Yeah, that makes sense. Because that's what kind of like the manifesting thing with the Pentacles materials, you know, it kind of goes with that. I'm manifesting that living in this mentality I've never lived in, you know.
Exactly.
You can't do that to me, you know, but I have to find a way to do it better.
Oh, that
makes sense. I have to do it better so I don't do it to the wrong people.
Back. I was just suddenly I saw it. I'm like, wait a second. There's like a specific meaning here. But yeah, so what this is saying is moving into your near future, you're really being invited into growth. You're invited into shedding your skin because you're growing. You have to shed your skin. Like snakes don't get a choice. When they grow, the skin's got to go too. But it doesn't always come off super easily. I don't know if you know anything about snakes.
I do actually. Okay. Yeah. Gills.
So you know that.
Especially after they eat something. Yeah.
And then sometimes you have to help it. You have to, I don't.
Okay, we have to stop talking about snakes because Misty's about to lose it.
Okay, sorry. I don't really care for them either.
Oh, she hates snakes.
I do have a terrifying thing about snakes, so I'm okay. Right.
That is like perfect analogy. Yeah, I mean, that's like for what's going on in my life. A bigger thing. Yeah.
Funny side story. One of my most manipulative exes, learned a lot from him. He asked me when we first started dating, and I said, okay. I said, I'm not doing anything with it. Like, it's your project, it's your thing. And that one snake turned into, by the time I left him, he had 8 snakes.
What?
It looked like PetSmart. I'm not even kidding. It was awful. He wanted to become a snake breeder is what he decided. And
that's my husband.
So, yeah.
Yes, that's why I hate snakes. You're talking about my husband.
I will say it definitely, I learned a lot about snakes.
Yes, me too, unfortunately.
But I'm over it.
That's hilarious.
But anyway, so you're really being invited into growth. And so right now it's showing that you are growing, but you need a little help with peeling that skin off. Like because you're holding on to it. Because again, there's that familiarity to before boundaries. There probably was that. There's kind of like with Misty, there was that familiar part of letting people walk over you because it was easier. You didn't have
to. It is easier. It's comfortable and it's easier because there's no confrontation, which I hate confrontation. Yeah, so I'm just living with confrontation now. It's just part of my life like everybody else's. Or I just know when not to, confront. I know when not to and when to. Like you said before, like kind of telling the difference.
Right. Yeah. And so this is just saying that, just lean into that growth. You are doing the work, and like this 8 of materials is saying, you're learning, you're an apprentice. So there are going to be mistakes made as you go, but that's okay because through those mistakes, you learn and do better. Yeah. And so don't be afraid of that growth and letting the skin fall away, letting those things fall away.
Oh,
and the cool is the future higher self card that goes with that future card is the world.
Oh,
so it's basically letting you know, like,
you'll be okay.
Are you and doing this big growth, but you're also coming to an ending of like a chapter, and which means that you probably have learned everything you needed to learn in this section of your boundary work.
Yeah,
and so you're starting a new journey soon, where okay, there's gonna be new lessons coming your way, and
Thank you, Sarah. That's really great. I would
and there's 2 more.
Oh, there's 2 more. I forgot. I was going to give you a reading in return, but 2 more. Keep going.
Okay. Yeah. So I think we talked a little longer.
No, we can do this all day. They can listen or not.
Right. Okay. So I love this. This is just kind of going on to that new chapter, that growth. So I pulled the Hanged Muse. Okay. So the way that I read the Hanged Muse, this is if you're a caterpillar becoming a butterfly, you're in the cocoon right now. So that's what the hanging muse is. There's a part of you, and coming back to the Age of Materials, where you kind of feel like, oh, why aren't I an expert already? Why aren't I better at this? You could also be feeling like, why am I not moving? Why do I feel like things are kind of stuck right now?
I have no real goals for my future. I don't have any future goals. I'm just kind of floating along. Nothing really going on. No dreams. No, like I'm just kind of going. I'm just living, which isn't a problem, but it's kind of uncomfortable for me because I always had a plan, and so that's out of my comfort zone, but it's not too far out, but
So the invitation here is that you're not moving a lot externally because the work and the movement is actually going to be all internal right now.
Yeah.
And if you look at a caterpillar becoming a butterfly, when it's in the cocoon, it doesn't look like a lot's going on. It's just a
lot is, but turning inside out or something.
But inside the cocoon, it's a gooey mess.
Yeah.
It's literally becoming a different creature.
Yeah.
So it's not pretty in there, but on the outside, it's fine. And so that's kind of where you're at. All this growth is causing a lot of transformation inside you. And so like, if you do, and if you are going through periods of being a gooey mess, like that's okay. You're doing it right.
Yes, very much so. Yes.
You're doing it right. That's part of it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love it.
And then right next to that, so it's letting you know that you are in this cocoon stage, you are in this transformative stage. And then the card right next to it, which is just, we couldn't make this any better, is the strength card.
Oh, that is awesome.
I love that card. So
it is, the strength is just saying to, keep going, keep moving forward, keep doing what you're doing. Lots of growth and transformation is happening in new beginnings and endings. So.
Well, the strength card for me a lot of times is about compassion. And I'm not very compassionate with myself sometimes, but I'm learning to be more so,
Yeah.
So I think that if that's the message from my higher self, it's just like be nicer to yourself, maybe. Also,
I think that's
I take that from that.
Yeah.
It does make me think of being compassionate toward other people, toward myself, and especially myself, because that's what the reading's about, my boundaries. It is isolating. Right. It is like really easy to roll over. It's not just easy, but it makes everything peaceful, to let people have their way and say their thing, even if it hurts or, is wrong or bad. But it's also, not only is it a habit, but it's also like, it's teaching those people who are like that not to be that way with compassion. Instead of yelling back or taking it out on people, I need the higher self message to me would be like, don't tone it down a notch or by 8 notches, Yeah, in some cases, So it's like,
and I do see that compassion piece. It's know that you're doing the work. Like, don't feel like you should be better at it because you're right. We were supposed to be, right? And growth is hard. So, it's going to take a little time and you do need a little help with,
I do.
And that's okay. And being a gooey mess is also okay.
I'm glad to hear that.
You're A-okay, Lisa.
I feel great now. Thank you very much. That was really awesome. I'm gonna now, Misty, you said you did a reading, or you were pulling cards.
I did. Well, I pulled.
What did you come up with? Do you want us to do readings on you? You get.
Love that.
Okay, let me ask you something. Are you married or any kind of relationship right now?
I'm not.
Okay, good, because something good's coming your way. I see a lot of emotional balance and control with you, like especially during your readings. You're spot on, and you get emotional in your readings, which helps the reader. And you're doing the right thing as far as the readings are concerned. You're doing it perfect. You're showing a lot of warmth and vibrancy and determination when you do it, and that's what kind of brings you out from everybody else. You're not just doing a reading, but you're really diving in there and you're getting emotional with them, and you're giving them the support that they need. And I think the universe is kind of telling me to thank you for that. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Also, I don't know what's going on, but it looks like meditation will really help you right now.
Okay.
So whatever's going on,
so much with that, but yes,
you really need to meditate on it. And I could say that to everybody, and I know it means, I got to do the work, I got to meditate. Mm-hmm. But right now, it looks like you really need some meditation. And the reason why I asked about the lover card or the love interest is because I've got the Two of Cups and I've got, unified love, partnership together. So I'm thinking that something good is coming your way, my dear. And I think it's coming. Not too far behind you.
Romance.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with telling her that. And it's probably true. She probably got a million admirers.
Yeah.
You don't even know it.
I had a friend literally read something almost identical. More meditation, or like self-care. But the love thing was right around the corner too. And I thought, oh, okay.
That's what I'm going to look at.
I've been single for a few years, so I'm all for it.
Well, it's coming,
look at this on the bottom of the deck, the Six of Pentacles. I was going to do love reading. I'm going to just this is a spread I made up called What's Up With Them.
Yeah, I like that.
So like the first three cards are what's up with Sarah, what's up with her, what is she doing, and why.
Okay.
What I'm going to do. What's up with you? The Nine of Wands reversed. This is regarding love, maybe.
Can I?
What are you doing? The Three of Swords.
Following me. The Nine of Wands has been following me all week long. All week, and it's
reversed or upright.
Showing it for me.
Is it reversed or upright? Because this person coming into your life, the cards are saying, whoa. So you're not prepared for this, is what that Nine of Wands is saying. It's a relationship. And what you're doing is giving up on love. And why is because you're second guessing. And when they're second guessing, there's too much like, you're so devoted, but other people just don't devote. Or they don't do the right things to show it. And you second guess yourself because they don't validate anything. They haven't in the past. Right. And this reading is about waiting for him or them, or her. And the advice is, you're not going to be able to handle that. It's a King of Wands.
Oh my God.
This is a sexy cat. So if you take the advice to wait, you will learn about this person. Where will you learn about this person? And another page of Wands. This might be it says this. I get the Queen of Cups. Like you've dreamed of this person.
Oh, I love that.
And you've been through it. So you're ready to give up. A good reason to want to give up. Yeah. What do you need to know about this King? The Star. That means something to you. I've been being told that means something to you.
Yeah.
So
gonna help me heal.
I asked when, and I get the Seven of Swords. They're not telling me.
It's just coming though.
This person's coming. And with the 2 pages, I feel like you communicate. You haven't met this person, I don't think. That's why the Sign of Wands is reversed. You're not prepared. This is like
she's not.
You have, because you think you're ready for all the BS. It's always comes with the relationships, but the true things out there, right?
Yeah. I do. It's so funny because, I've been on the dating scene, dating apps and stuff for maybe a year or so. It's exhausting. It's all the same stuff.
I can't imagine.
Yes, I can't either.
Yeah,
we have a regular series with Jennifer Love doing Love series. And she told, I've never been on a dating site because I was married and then now I have a boyfriend. So after I got divorced, I didn't want anything to do with anything except this person who came into my life as a friend, and then So this one is talking about for me, this is Temperance. This is a deck I made, Kitty Quest Tarot. But that's just the doubts you have. Your doubts about love are huge. Yeah, this is my cat Morgana. I made it with all my cats.
Beautiful deck. It really is a beautiful deck.
Here's the Seven of Swords is kind of cool. I like it. It's this fun one. I think covering up Aria. It was fun to make. They're digital art. We'll see. What else do you need to know about this person? Ace of Swords reversed, Two of Wands reversed, and the 10 of Cups. So it's kind of like you're in denial that you're going to choose to get married ever again, or ever again, one or the other.
I think it's the denial of ever meeting someone to marry.
Could be 10 of Cups to marry, but this is where you're heading, Queen of Pentacles. And always, there's nothing wrong with the Queen of Pentacles. So 10 of Cups and Queen of Pentacles is where you're heading. So it looks nice. You are a mother. Is this something to do with your child? No. He's gonna love your child. I said, how are they gonna treat your child? And I get the Page of Cups.
I love that. Well, and that's something extra because my daughter's dad passed away.
Oh no.
And we talk about them all the time, but I know that she's missing that piece.
Of course.
She gets
Of course.
She
She needs something to fill it. Yeah. And she's going to get it. And so are you.
I asked, how's your daughter? I get the 2 pentacles. She's handling things really well.
Mm.
And I get, what else do you need to know about your daughter? She's going to be an empress. She's already a little empress, I'm hearing.
Yeah. Oh my God.
She's an empress. You gave birth to an empress.
Yep.
A well-balanced empress.
That's all right.
Well, she's an Aries, so.
Oh, I know about those.
Yeah, Misty's an Aries. Yeah, and an Aries moon too.
Yeah. She'll be great.
She will, but she can't be anything other than great.
That's right. That's right.
She'll have it no other way.
That's right.
Oh, for sure.
Exactly.
That's the Aries.
Well, that was fun. We've never had a podcast where we gave readings like that, and that was a lot of fun.
No, that was so fun.
I hope you guys like that. And Sarah, thank you so much for doing that.
Yes, Sarah, that was so fun.
And Misty, thank you as always. Thank you so much for coming back. We should we should do a Soul Tarot series maybe. That'd be cool. Because I can just talk about tarot all day for real.
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to even, I don't know if you ever have guests or anything like that, but I could always do like a reading for a guest or something.
That's a good idea. Maybe we could do something like that. We'll talk after the podcast and maybe we could plan something like that. That'd be really fun. We could have random people come in and give them readings.
That sounds
I've seen podcasts doing that. They have random people come in and you can have a live podcast and people ask their questions and you can give them reading right on the podcast. I haven't learned how to do that yet. I know how, but I haven't done it.
Well, listeners, what do you think about that?
Yeah, listeners, like send me a voice message, send me an email, Lisa at we'reallpsychic.com, and the website where you can get Kitty Quest Tarot. It's actually on Etsy, but it's on www.we'reallpsychic.com, the link to the Etsy shop. Our website is mainly just a bunch of links to you can get stuff. And
I'll link up.
You can also find Everclear, who is our sponsor. Everclear is an advice app where you can find get the advice you need to create the life you deserve from psychics and empaths. And we just love it there. We both work there. And what is your name? Is it Sarah T?
Yeah, it's Sarah T.
Sarah T on there.
Do you mind if I share like my website?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Please do.
I know the last time that I was on here, I was fairly new to social media. So now I can happily tell you that there's actually on there. My Instagram is pretty up to date. That is at Journey Through Tarot, all spelled out. And I also, my website is www.journeythroughtarot.com. And I offer one-on-one sessions. I also offer email readings for those that don't have the time or want something more affordable. I have the email readings, which you'll basically get a recording of my voice going over the reading, kind of like I did.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
And I also do events for those who are local. I'm in Southern California, so I do events. But yeah, that's how you would find me, is mainly Instagram and my website that I shared.
And listeners and watchers, I'll post all these links in the description of the podcast. So, and
she was spot on, listeners. So she
last of all, yes, listeners, she's really great. Yes. And listeners, we love you. Thank you for watching and listening.
Yes, we do love you.
We're saying goodbye now. We're doing the goodbye thing. It's just so hard to do. It's hard to leave you. It's hard to leave you. Goodbye. Goodbye. Listeners.
Bye.
One more time. Goodbye.
Bye. Everybody, love you. Toodles.
One more. Okay, we're done.